Hi, everybody. I'm back. Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be a Q&A, and my name is Janet Wright. I'm an energy healer, reader, and teacher, and everyone is welcome to participate in this Q&A. There are no wrong questions, no bad questions. Obviously, I'm best at answering questions about energy healing, reading, meditation, um, stuff like that. Go ahead and say hi in the text chat so I know it's working. Let me check that. Somebody says hi. Thank you very much. Let me know it's working. I think somebody heard me because they already posted a question. And I would encourage you to post your question on the early side because this will go an hour and there might be some questions I don't get to. If it's already been an hour, because otherwise, I can only do so much in a day. So someone says hi, thank you very much. Oh, and if you go by outfits, because I kind of think of like, oh wait, is this the same one she filmed on that day because she's wearing a different outfit? So I just took off this big hoodie that I had on. So I was wearing this. It was very dark and heavy and warm, and I just got too warm. So, but it's the same day. It's still May 3rd. I just took off my hoodie. Okay, so welcome. Okay, great. So somebody says hi Janet. Thank you so much for my hellos. Somebody says hi. Someone says, hey Janet, I've had a lot of digestive and intestinal issues since childhood. Is this food related or blocks I could clear? Also curious how my brother and sister did in the healing today. Thank you. Great questions. Okay. So for everybody, just as a disclaimer, I mean, this person knows it, but I am not a medical intuitive, meaning that my specialty is not physical body issues. I mean, I'm an energy reader and healer, so I'm much better at helping people with emotional issues, mental issues, spiritual issues. But as the question implies, sometimes energy stuff, like past life stuff, for example, can impact you on a very physical level. From what I can hear from your angels, it used to be like 50-50, 50% actual food related, like there are foods that you cannot tolerate that you keep eating. But and it used to be 50% like, baggage from past life and present life baggage that is causing intestinal issues, but you've worked a lot and gotten so much more present that now it's more like 70-30, and it's only 30% energy stuff that you could work by pure energy stuff, and then 70% is literal foods that you're eating that you don't tolerate well. So maybe start keeping a food journal, think about that. Maybe, I mean, even with the social, I mean, like you could do yeah, maybe just keep a food journal for starters and just start using I mean, that's what you could do. You could use your intuition to think, and your psychic awareness that's pretty good now, and your ability to hear your angels, which is pretty good now, and keep a food journal, and then use your intuition to kind of realize like, okay, wait, is the wheat doing it? And then maybe, do no wheat for 30 days, or is it the corn and wheat that are doing it? Or is it the raw food that I'm doing? What is it? So yeah. But I think that the food component is, you could start looking a little bit more at that. Someone says, hi, Janet. Myself and my husband are trying to kick some. Oh, wait. And you also said how my brother and sister doing the healing today, who were telepathic consent participants, meaning that you can pay for your loved ones, even if they're not consciously wanting the healing, because if their spirit wants it, if they as a soul wants the healing, then that's good enough for me. Because the conscious part of you and me and everyone is actually kind of a small part of you as a whole spirit. So anyway, you're The good karma windows work was especially good for your brother. Um, your sister, I think the best thing for her was the Wei Chi aura work. Um, it just seems like she just she just gets she has her Wei Chi auras get really worn down, and damaged a lot. And so I think that's she's kind of in a happy place with her two different days of Wei Chi aura healing so far. Um, So, so yeah, so that they're both doing well. I mean, if you imagine what you can do is, to imagine how you're doing on a healing. Any of you guys who got this healing, or maybe just did the video for yourself or whatever. You imagine yourself on your path. So it's like a straight road that's yours, right? That represents you and your learning and growth in this life. And just see, are you on the path? Are you moving forward on it? Are you kind of train wrecked on the side of the path? Are you, because like that questioner, at first her brother was like going like this and then zigzagging forward on the path, which sort of means it's like really inefficient and doing it the hard way. And that's what he looked like before the Friday healing. And then the Friday healing just kind of helped him to even out and go forward much more efficiently. And her sister was kind of like going very slowly up the path along the side, which again is like sort of doing it the hard way. And so that even the first healing just helped her even out and go forward more smoothly and gently. So, I mean, in a surface way, it looks like it's making them feel better, but it looks like it's helping them to be safer and more efficient with their energy. So, okay, someone says, "Hi, Janet. Myself and my husband are trying to kick some bad habits. I scratch my scalp and he bites his nails. How can we heal ourselves? Thank you." Okay, so typically when you're doing a compulsive habit, and this is actually a very similar thing to like people who have compulsive overeating or compulsive, smoking or some habit that you don't want, but it's just this, you feel a strong urge to keep doing it. It's a similar thing with the scratching or whatever you're doing with your scalp. It's just that you get kind of stuck. You're not so present at the moment. You're not so flowing, and you just kind of get stuck in this pain, and it's like a broken record. So you keep doing it. So the idea would be you could proactively, do blanket exercise. That blanket exercise video, it's only 11 minutes. It's very simple. But you could do the blanket exercise video and proactively clear the energy blocks that you get stuck in that make you do that compulsive behavior. So for anybody, the energy blocks that make you do your late night unwise food choices, or the energy blocks that make you pick your scalp, or the energy blocks that make you scream at your loved ones, and just put them out in front of you proactively and just say, "Angels, can you double check my piles?" and melt them away. And proactively do that as much as you can. If you catch yourself in the moment, just try to be nice to yourself. Don't shame yourself, but just come back, because you're kind of, you're maybe near your body, but not quite in the energy centers of your body. You're kind of like stuck in some blocked energy in your aura. So just, body awareness at that time, stretch, maybe if you can get yourself to do some stretching or some, so you can essentially redirect your behavior to something that's centering. So rather than doing this, which is, harmful, and it's just you kind of being out, do something that's more mindful. Like, okay, I'm going to feel this. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this. These are healthy things that I'm doing. And I'm taking that urge to act, but I'm channeling it into something healthy that's going to bring me more and more present. And so therefore, I'm not going to be stuck in a loop and keep doing that behavior. So it's a blanket exercise proactively and in the moment if you want, but then also just you redirect that nervous stuck energy into something, that's going to help you, like stretching, mindful walking, hand massages, something that's, it's another behavior, but it's more centering. Someone says, "Hi, Janet." Hello. Hi, Jenna. Thank you. Oops, wait, I lost you. Hi, Jenna. Thank you. Feeling better today. Getting things accomplished had been struggling for a little. How am I doing? Um, you had some cords at the first chakra. I noticed late on Thursday night when I looked at you before the first healing. I don't know if I got a chance to mention that. So I think. Yeah, I think your first chakra consistently is getting corded these days. Because, like, even right now, it's sort of like people are cording some energy blocks in front of your first layer. Because, like, if people want to cord your first chakra, but they can't, then they'll cord some stuck energy in your first layer. So just keep clearing, any stuck energy in this layer right up against the skin, right around this whole area. Because there's your first chakra. So anything around there, just melt cords. And you could kind of imagine, say, the top 6 candidates of who could be courting you. Like, don't even think of who they are. Just imagine, okay, these are the 6 people that are most likely courting me. And then just make energy healing flowers. It's okay, to let go and have your angels check them, and then just offer respectfully those flowers to these people, at a respectful distance in front of their aura. For those of you who don't know, that's an excerpt from Janet Wright. If you search Janet Wright conflict, resolve conflict and boundary issues. That helps. That's how you can help the people that are triggered in your life so that they leave you alone. Because, yeah, you can keep melting their cords and you can keep melting your own baggage, but it is a little bit easier too if they relax and go mind their own business. So you're doing fine right now. It just looks like you do have like 3 different people that keep cording your first chakra and your first layer these days. So you can help them to chill out too, which would be nice for everyone. Someone says, I know I have a lot of resentment towards family members, and I've been working throughout time to try to release it. Well, good for you. Awareness is the first step. Good job. Do you know if fast track to getting rid of it or letting it go? Yeah, I mean, the fast track would be heart chakra stuff. Resentment is stuck heart chakra energy. So I think you may have already done, those clear victim energy videos. Those are good for it. Any heart chakra work. I mean, your heart chakra tends to get blocked in the back. I mean, you just got the healing, so it's not at all blocked in the front. It's not damaged in any way, but just in the back, just kind of ease out those blocks. It like wants to block up. So just kind of ease out the blocks and expand the back of your 4th chakra. Whenever you think about it, just, because you have a whole lifetime of going like, like accidentally, but, all that resistance clamping shut your 4th chakra. So now it's like it just needs to learn how to release continually. I mean, someday, hopefully soon, that will just be your norm, that even the back of your 4th chakra is just, releasing like a fire hydrant, releasing a ton all the time. But I think right now it's just not fully your new default yet. So fast tracking would be the back of your 4th chakra. Just make sure it's always releasing a lot. And if things start feeling really weird, then your grounding is messed up. Your grounding got small and blocked. So why not? But right now your grounding is really great. So yeah, fast tracking it would be heart chakra. Make sure it's flowing and happy. Back of the heart chakra flowing and releasing. Someone says hello and gives me a flower. Thank you so much. Someone says, dear Janet, hi from Pakistan. Hello from Pakistan. Yay! Hello. Welcome. Someone says, I also keep missing rips in my aura. I do check for beings blocking my clairvoyance before healing my aura, but anything else I could do? Yeah, and this is a very common thing. It's funny because I said something about like having trouble with repairing your aura like you think you are, but you're not. And one person thought I was talking about them, and I'm like, oh, honey, I've talked to like 60 people in the last month about, rips that they've missed in their aura. It's just such a universal issue. But yeah, I mean, I think you might not have like a little sign that you do with your angels so that they tell you when you're done. and so that could be a fun thing to do with it, just have like I say that, I didn't used to have a sign like that. I would just use my intuition. Have I gotten all the rips healed? Plus you get like a bigger size, it's like a car tire. When there's no leak, it puffs up, the same thing with your aura. When, if my aura had leaks in it, it would be like that. But without leaks, it's like this. So, just think, okay, is my aura like this or is my aura like this? If your aura is like this, you probably missed some leaks, So, but aside from the size thing, you can also just have your angels show you some obvious sign, like for me, they drop flowers on the outer surface of the aura, like 100 flowers all of a sudden, whoosh. It's really funny looking. And so then I know, okay, I'm done. Or maybe they'll show you a gold check mark, just say, angels, can we develop some fun intuition / vision system so that you're telling me for sure I finished repairing my aura. And that way you just keep going until you get your sign. So hopefully that's something you could look into. Someone says, hi, Janet. I half listened to this healing due to a relationship issue. I healed up a lot last night. How do I look? I broke off a long time pen pal relationship due to the realization it was unhealthy. Well, good for you. That sounds like it was a very brave step. Looking pretty good. I would say there's some kind of heavy yeah. It's like, as I look at your chakras, there's kind of like, and this is a good thing for everybody to learn, you can have like chakras as you imagine them, they're just like these cool little motors, right? Generating light and energy, and it's super cool, right? So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So you can imagine them, and like they're like perky and generating energy and color, and it's really neat, right? But sometimes you can have like energy that's sort of like, it looks like it's braided around them all. So they're kind of like stuck in like a pasty stuff all around them. And that is, it could be beings like wrapped around them, or it could be, the energy could be coming in from above, and just like wrapping around them all. And I think in this poster's case, it's what I call flashlight beings, and they're just, pesky. Again, you're much more big and powerful, so don't be afraid. But you can have beings I call flashlight beings, just because I like silly names, not like fear-inducing names. But so you have flashlight beings, which are just beings that shoot beams of light at you to try to like overwhelm you a little bit. So you have some of those way above you shooting energy down at you, and then it's wrapping around your chakras, causing like everything to feel like heavy and kind of locked up. So so you just imagine, okay, what are the beings way above me shooting down energy? And then just say, angels, can you recycle all those? So there's about like maybe 16 of them up here. So you just say, angels, can you please recycle all those flashlight beings up there? And then they'll do that for you. But other than that, aura's whole grounding is nice. Yeah. I would say watch the heart chakra cords to that person. Just like melt those. It's like kind of like I was telling that other person that I was talking to, they had people cording their first layer and or their first chakra. So you have somebody cording your fourth chakra and or your fourth layer, energy blocks in your fourth layer. So just extra gold light, just kind of like that other poster, extra gold light, make sure your heart chakra is flowing in the front and flowing in the back. Like you, like her, you think of the back of that heart chakra and open it up, let it flow out. You're like a big fire hydrant, all sorts of energy releasing out the back of your fourth chakra. And that way it just flows and keeps your fourth layer nice and flowy. Because your fourth layer is like, it's like on this like crash diet. You don't want your fourth layer on a diet, right? You want your fourth chakra unblocked in the back so it can feel free and generate lots of enthusiasm for you, right? So just open up your heart chakra, generate more, and then have your angels recycle those flashlight beings up above you. That way you can be cord free. Yeah, good job. Somebody says, Saturday was a tough day with my older son. He had resistant. He was resistant with school related that turned into drama, and later with my hubby on his project to find us a house, I was not able to read anything and tired. Well, okay. It's actually a good question to post because it's a very common thing what happens with people with young kids. You know, if you have kids that are 13 or 14 or younger, you have a first chakra cord to them, okay? And when they get frustrated, they could accidentally, not on purpose, typically, they could blast your first chakra because that cord usually goes from you to them. It's one directional usually, and I mean, most cords are not one directional, but this parent cord, the mom cord and the dad cord, you know, from the dad's first chakra to the kid and the mom's first chakra to the kid, it's usually supposed to be one directional, and you're just sending like some earth energy that you brought up and some of your first chakra energy to your kid's first chakra, right? And that's the only chakra you want to cord your young child with. But if they start freaking out, they can reverse the direction of that and kind of blitz out your first chakra and kind of fry it, you know. So I think your first chakra, it's repaired from the healing, but it's just kind of like there's all this compression all around your first layer, just because your first chakra got blitzed out, you know, that evening with your kid freaking out. So I would just say, you know, extra TLC for your first layer right around there. You have like some it's kind of like blackening, aura blackening a little bit, just all around here. So it's like half red, half black in your first layer all around here. So I think, you know, since you're so present there, you really feel that. You're just like, ah, you know. So I think if you, I think that's what would help you the most. Someone says, I've been feeling more pressure from work lately. Is there, oh, and by the way, the problem is your older son, he got triggered, right? But then since he was acting out and freaking out on you guys at the same time, you corded his energy blocks. So then he was unable to clear them. So then he continued to freak out. So that's the thing. Like if you, and this is a note for even people that don't have partners, you know, if someone's freaking out or someone's triggered, try to not cord their energy blocks. Like for example, the, you know, person, if you just broke up with somebody, let them just have their triggered energy blocks. Don't cord their energy blocks. It's very tempting on a subconscious level to do that. So just imagine, you know, all the cords coming from you to them and just melt them. You know, so if it's a young child, you know, keep the first chakra cord, but that's it. Because if your husband or your kid or somebody can get triggered and freak out, but you're not courting them, that's like a priceless gift you're giving them, because then they can get over themselves. If you feel like your partner's a broken record and they always blow up over the same stuff, part of the problem, I mean, not to shame you, but you could be, let's put it this way, you could be part of the solution. Right? We won't say you're part of the problem, but we could say you're part of the solution by actively uncording that person's baggage. So then or the next time they flip out, you know, you're going to uncord them and let them, you know, go full cycle. Let them really clear what they were trying to clear by freaking out. I mean, obviously it's not ideal to freak out to clear something, you know, probably his grounding just got blocked, which is why he freaked out rather than just releasing it. But then you corded the energy blocks, so then he really didn't release them. So, but the healing helped him to get over all that anyway. But just FYI, I guess, for the future, you know, maybe the next few days, just actively, you know, uncord your loved ones and melt away their cords to you. Particularly when in families, that happens a lot, lots of cording. And that's true for people whose siblings live far away even. Okay, so thank you for posting, and I hope you feel better. Well, I think you probably do, but anyway. I've been feeling more pressure from work lately. Is there any feedback regarding my bosses, supervisor, colleagues? I'm trying to remember I think I know who you are, but I'm just gonna look at it. Yeah, I don't remember that name, like as a real life name. I don't remember which real life name that links up to, but I would say it just looks like a lot of seventh chakra chords. Like they're chording you at the seventh chakra. Seventh chakra is like confidence, empowerment, inspiration. And if people kind of are a little bit of a backseat driver and they're trying to control what you do and your sense of autonomy, they could chord your seventh and also your third. So I would say check for and melt away cords from your bosses and your supervisors at your seventh and your third. Oops. Seventh and third. It kind of looks like part of your seventh and your sixth layers, you just kind of give up to them. Like you just kind of go like this. Like you don't really own your full seventh layer and your seventh and sixth layer of your auras and your seventh chakra. Like just kind of imagine, your angels, just ask your angels to remove them from your space and then just kind of take back those locations. I think because you leave energy blocks there, stuck energy, then it's easy for someone to waltz in and sort of boss you around. So you can do extra clearing in like your seventh and sixth layer. Specifically, it looks like on your right side. Someone says, what is my personal spiritual age? And have I ever been a healer in a past life? Yes, you have been healers in past lives. And it's kind of a big question to read on the fly like that. Have you seen my spiritual age videos? Because usually I prefer that people, watch that and they get their own intuition, and then I can look at, I can give you feedback on what your perception is. So I would prefer it that way around. But yeah, you have been healers in past lives. But if you haven't watched that video, just that series, my 3-video series on spiritual age, go watch that, and then you tell me what age you are, and I can validate if that looks right to me or not. Okay. Someone says, I've been working on my first layer, clearing blocks in my knees and ankles so that I can bring up more energy. How am I doing with that? Am I in all chakras? Yes, you are in all chakras right now. Yeah, your leg channels do bring up nice amounts of earth energy right now. There's still this like it's like there's a blanket on your lap, of like your daughter. She's just like she's used to being like a blanket on your lap, like she's kind of inserted herself into your first layer. I wonder why that is. Well, anyway. Just, imagine rolling up that blanket of your daughter's energy and just hand it to your angels. But yeah, it looks like you're bringing up a lot more earth energy into your first chakra. And I think just keep the back of your first chakra, just imagine it and kind of open it up more. It is open. It's just, there's just energy blocks that kind of constrict the flow in the back of your first chakra. So I would say that you could kind of just keep opening that up, maximize the flow out of the back of your first chakra. And then keep checking for that blanket on your lap of your daughter's energy and just roll that up and give it to your angels. All right. Someone says, also, there's a new guy in my life who is a Reiki healer as well. We're a lot alike, and it feels like a healing relationship. I've been trusting the signs from the angels. Can you relate? Can you? I lost it. Can a relatio suit? Yeah, I don't know what you're asking. But I'm glad there's a new person in your life. It seems like your angels are happy about it. When is it safe for me to shift the healing to healing others? Yeah. You helped. What helped you to see more in the beginning? I'd like to open up to seeing colors in the aura suggestions. Yeah, nothing helped me see in the beginning. I didn't see for a long time. So it's interesting how you word that question. Yeah, nothing helped me see in the beginning. But that could be good, you know? I mean, because you want to be so present that when you see it's really you. Because you can get weird visions of some being just handing you a vision, and that's no good, you know? So I don't think that you have to really rush vision, rush getting as present as possible. You know, that's really the thing that's gonna, that's the sort of the roots and the trunk of the tree, you know, is like getting in all chakras as consistently as possible, as soon as possible. That then like all good things come from that, you know, psychically. So I would say that's try to keep that in your focus. And yeah, once you get that, then sure, yeah, you can start healing others, you know, definitely one at a time. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that to you. I like to, sometimes I forget to mention that. It's much more risky to heal like two people at once than it is to heal one person at a time. So I would always recommend that people heal one person at a time. I mean, which is funny coming from me because I just healed 100 people today, but it's just, you know, not that I'm saying that nobody on the planet can do that. It's just I want people to know the risk because I make it look very easy and it is not. It's very high risk. The biggest, most invasive, most punishing beings on the planet become extremely aware of you when you heal multiple people at the same time. And so it's a whole different ballgame. So I just, you know, I want people to be aware that it's different. But you know, you could be a pro healer that heals just one person at a time and you wouldn't have to deal with that level of risk at all. So I just want to mention that just because sometimes I don't mention that and then I don't want to, I want everyone to be well informed about it. So anyway, when is it safe for shift to heal others? Yeah, I would just say get in all chakras. You know, at least most of the time. And then once you're in all chakras most of the time, then, you know, one at a time, you know, heal like your least drama family member, you know, like just, you know, say hi to them on a spirit level, ask them if they want you to unblock their grounding and then go ahead and unblock their grounding if they say yes telepathically, you know, like that you start slow, start small, start one at a time. But once you get in all your chakras all the time is what I would say. Just because then, you know, the journey of getting that present, you know, gives you strength and gives you a lot of safety that you're going to need when you're starting to heal other people. Because the risk of starting to healing other people is then, well, then they might, even just on a spirit level, like hop in your space for whenever they need help then, or just their beings might just choose you over them and just be like, oh, she's got more energy, let's go there. You know, so you want to, you know, because you've already gotten into all your chakras consistently, you're knowledgeable and you're ready for that level of boundaries risk. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, as you get more present, your vision does improve naturally. You could just work on unblocking the back of your sixth more often though, because the front of your sixth is really gorgeous right now, but the back, it just has some blocks there. So just keep manually unblocking the back of your sixth chakra, and that would speed up you getting in there. But see, because right now you're in 7 through 2, but 2 is really tight. 2 and 1, those layers are pretty tight. So so you're here, but not down here. And so it's like the vision is it's just harder to do something as sophisticated as see color and all that when you're still fighting to get down here. So get down here, you know, don't worry so much about the color, because you can use intuition for color. You can be like, okay, well, I see that. Is it black or is it white? And just use your intuition. Oh, it's black. You see, I mean, intuition is a good substitute for you know, vivid color, because a lot of times I don't see vivid color just because I don't care, because my intuition is so fast. I just intuit what color it is like before I even bother seeing it. So there are a lot of workarounds, but yeah, getting in all your chakras is the best bet. That's I would say that's the focus. to fast track everything. Someone says, hi, hi again. I didn't quite understand what you meant when you said I became more present when you cleared out my energy channels. Well, yeah, you got today's healing, and on today's healing and in Friday's healing, that was part of the healing. We unblocked all the major and minor chakras, and then we unblocked all the energy channels of the body and the spirit. And all the energy channels of the body and the spirit, that includes, all these traditional Chinese medicine meridians and stuff. And so it's a big deal. I mean, we did what's healthy and gentle to do, but it's still like, it's very like, whoa. So it gets you more present. So that's what I meant. When we unblocked the energy channels in today's healing, your spirit, when there's more flow in your body, your spirit can come in more. Because you can't jam yourself into something that's totally blocked, You got to get flow there, and then you kind of come in more easily. It's like, oh, how nice. So I hope that makes sense. Someone says, hi, Janet. How have my first chakra been looking? I heal them consistently. Yeah, you've come such a long way and have seen difference, but it's ongoing. Sure, of course. Do you have a recommendation for clearing fear of public speaking? I would just say targeted energy block clearing. When you have a specific fear, maybe blanket exercise or stacking and clearing, but just specifically highlight, okay, well, what triggers when I consider public speaking, and just line up the energy blocks that trigger about public speaking and melt them away. Just do that again in batches, But overall, I mean, your first chakra and first layer, I would just say your first chakra, you're in it a lot now, which, geez, what a difference. Maybe think about your first layer, because a lot of times it's like half black and half red, even now. And so the black part is just a lot of compressed energy blocks. So just think about the first layer, your first layer all around your body, and just use your intuition if you can't see in that level of detail, and just be like, okay, well, I think it's 20% black right now. And then that just gives you kind of an intuitive sense of all the compressed energy blocks in that layer, and then just go ahead and work on melting them. So you're like, oh, I think now I have 100% red in my first layer. Maybe tune in on that, like how much red and how much black is in your first layer, and also the back of your first layer, just kind of support that a little better, heal that extra, the back of your first chakra, because you get a little bit extra energy blocks back there that just don't automatically clear. So just manually clear the back of your first chakra. And then for do the targeted stuff for the public speaking, just, like a blanket exercise or something, and just heap out, because public speaking, baggage could be also even some 7th chakra stuff, confidence, could be some heart chakra stuff, self-acceptance, it could be some 5th chakra stuff, communication. So it could be a lot of different things, not even though you feel afraid to speak publicly, it could be in many chakras and many aura layers. So that way, if you do blanket exercise or stacking and clearing, you're just intuitively lobbing out in front of you all the baggage related to public speaking, and you blow it up or melt it all at once. You do that, of course, over many days, because there'll be, you can clear some on Monday, and then you rest, and then you can clear more on Tuesday, and so you clear more if you're consistent with it. Someone says, what books do you suggest for learning energy healing others? Yeah, no, you're the book I would suggest. I know that just sounds like I'm being obnoxious, but that's what I think. I've never read a book about energy healing. I think you'll learn the fastest if you just study yourself, study your own imbalances, study where you're stuck, heal it, and then study how that's different now. And study, if you have a certain way, a certain pattern, study what your grounding looks like when you do that behavior. Study what your aura looked like when you did that behavior. Imagine your energy field. Don't wait for photorealistic clairvoyance to show up. Just you are the book. Some people, if you insist on finding a book, I don't know. I'm sure there are books out there. I don't know how good they are, or if I would recommend them or not. And I'm not going to bother reading them to tell you. A long time ago, because some people insist, I need a book. Tell me a book. Then I looked at some, but I'm like, no, I really did not find appealing what I saw. So no, I don't have a book. But honestly, I really do think that if you just own up that you are the book, you'll learn a lot faster. You're the book, and your angels too. You know, open up more your angels, your ability to hear your angels. Just think about it. Just journal. You know, pray. Just say, angels, help me to understand this topic better, and then just heal yourself over the next couple days and journal. You know, and it just opens up your ability to learn. Someone says, la la la. Let's see. Can a relationship between healers be healing? I mean, I don't think it really matters that your partner is a healer. I just think it matters, is your partner a compatible match? You know, I mean, your partner could be a construction worker and it could be a compatible match. It's not necessarily a benefit that your partner is a healer. Because there could be healers that, I mean, and I'm not trying to, just for everybody, you know, like there could be a person who is trained as a healer who's a total jerk, you know. Not saying that you're a person who's a jerk, but you know what I mean. So I don't see an inherent plus in that. You know, like someone could be a truck driver and be just the most compassionate person you've ever met. You know, so I would say, you know, just, you know, when anybody is assessing if this is a compatible match for you, you know, if person XYZ is a compatible match for you, just use your intuition about, you know, their underlying qualities and the underlying qualities you need, and is that a match? You know, so it's not so much about what they do for a living, or even if they know healing or they don't know healing, because plenty of people have very compatible matches that the person doesn't even want to get healings consciously, you know. So it's just some deeper stuff that you just want to see if it complements what you need in life, you know. And if the way they are naturally complements what you naturally need in life, then that's nice. That's compatibility. So, do my angels have any messages for me? Well, I mean, I don't want to get into a lot with you because you keep posting a lot. I think I've read a lot of yours. I mean, they just echo that thing about being in all chakras. And they just say sometimes too, they just say patience, you know, because it's like sometimes you're like, say you're at A and you wish you were at M, and you're like, I want to be at M, I want to be at M, I want to be at M. Whereas if you just be where you are, you'll learn a lot more, and your wisdom will deepen more. If you just kind of, you be where you're at, you know, just work on your chakras, be where you're at. So hope that helps. So yeah, I would say take a break from posting because I gotta get to everybody else's stuff. Love you, but I'm gonna read other people's stuff. Hi, Janet. I'm having trouble getting things done physically and with motivation. What can I work to help this? What can I work on to help this? Well, okay, I'm not sure who you are, like consciously. I think you're just intuitively, I think you're someone who did not get the healing this morning, which is fine. You're totally welcome to post questions, but just to give you the context of my intuitive process. So if I just look at your energy, I mean, when you're the least motivated, it just looks like you're very scattered. So I have a video that would be nice for that. If you search, oops, wait, let me, Janet Wright, stacking, clearing 3 ways. If you type that, Janet Wright, stacking, clearing 3 ways, you'll find it. I have like a little pink bunny and I'm smiling in the image. But anyway, that would help you because it looks like you get kind of scattered and kind of out. And so it's to be motivated and really take action, ideally you'd be really present, and then it just sort of happens. But I think you just kind of get overwhelmed and scattered. And so I think that video could be nice for that. And if you're using that maybe like 2 or 3 days and it still doesn't work, feel free to post under the video, what else it helped halfway, but I still have problems with certain whatever. But that could be enough to kind of kick you in, to get you going. So try that one. Righty, let's see. Someone says, thank you, Janet. You're welcome. Someone says, my older daughter is having trouble, understandably, with her senior year in high school and her freshman year in college happening this pandemic. I am easily triggered by her. Help for both of us advice. Well, first of all, congratulations for owning that you're easily triggered by your daughter. That's probably pretty universal for parents. But it's, awareness is the first step, right? I would suggest like some inner smiling on your part, because it's like, okay, as a spirit, she picked to be incarnated exactly when she did. Like, she picked her birth date, like literally in heaven. They planned it out. A, she picked you as a mom, but B, she picked exactly when she was going to be born. So she picked exactly to have the pandemic during her high school year, her last high school year and her first college year. So I mean, whatever, she got what she ordered, she's probably not going to be too open to hearing that from you. So you could just maybe keep that to yourself. But, it is what it is. She could have been born, 2 years later or, early, you know what I mean? So whatever it is, her spirit needed this experience and here it is. So yeah, I would just say, you can definitely keep getting your healings. You're present enough now, though, because you're in your chakras, all your chakras these days. Maybe not every day, but at least part of most days, you're in all your chakras, which, rock star. So you could, like, once you're, you do yourself, unblock your own grounding, check your own aura, then, ask her spirit, be like, hey, because she's 18 now, so you would ask her permission, but just, say, hey, is it okay if I, unblock your grounding? It could help you with stress. Let's just say, yeah, sure, that's good, and her, like, sort of, okay. And then just, unblock her grounding for her. I mean, I think, it is what it is. It's just, I mean, I think that if she had her school and everything else, she'd be triggered about something else. I don't think that she would be not triggered, right now, if there'd be some other event that happened that would trigger her. I mean, she's learning to regulate her own energy and move into adulthood. And that's huge. Pandemic or no. So, I would just try to just see, like, be an owl, and just kind of have a smile inside at least, because, she picked this. So, whatever, it is what it is. It's going to help her be the person that she needs to be. So, just, that's what it is. So if she were listening, I would say, ground, maybe give her that, the 10-minute one, the aura repair unblock grounding video. That could be nice for her. Maybe blanket exercise could be nice for her if she's open to it. But if she's not open to it, then just stay out of her way. Melt cords, unblock her grounding every now and then with her consent on the spirit level. But, she picked the timing of her life, so. Someone says, thank you, you're welcome. Okay, so I'm skipping that other question because you asked 25 questions. Someone says, hi, Janet, feeling better generally after healing, but my husband's down mood is already making me frustrated again. Any advice to staying more compassionate and keeping my good energy flowing? Yes, great question. Okay, so yeah, it's triggering when your spouse is having a bad mood, for sure, right? I would say melt your cords to him, because even though you're pretty centered right now, you're still courting his emotional baggage, because you're like, don't blow up, don't blow up, don't blow up. You know, you're going to wreck my day if you blow up, you know? And so you're courting him in about 15 different energy blocks of his, and that's going to blow. That's going to sort of guarantee that he blows up if you keep courting his energy blocks. So just imagine those 15, 16, 17 chords that you have to him and just melt them. I know they're accidental subconscious chords. You didn't know you were doing it, but you are doing it. So just melt those chords. And for other people, you know, listening now or later, that's pretty typical. Like if your partner is getting upset, even when your partner's happy, you're probably courting like at least 10 of their energy blocks. So, and you could melt those, and that would make you happier and them happier. But if they're getting upset, chances are you're probably courting some of their energy blocks. So just melt, 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 melt. So just give them breathing room, because then if you give him breathing room, then he could be upset and you're not as affected. You know, if you like kind of are riding his energy blocks, trying to manipulate him into some calm state, then you're kind of screwed, because he'll be extra pissed at you, and then now you don't have boundaries because you're courting him so much. So uncord would be my advice. Hi Janet, I did the video on, and also maybe to do some inner child healing for yourself, maybe just quick flowers, you know, and this is true for anybody, you know, because having somebody mad, even if they're not mad at you, but they might be mad at you, and then that's even more triggering. But you can make flower healing for your own inner child, because maybe in this life or past lives as a kid, people got mad at you and that freaked you out, your little inner child. So you can just remind yourself, hey, I'm safe. Even if this person's mad at me, I am safe. I'm okay. You know, because you may have like a little 3-year-old part of you that feels very scared when someone around you is mad, you know, and so you just comfort that little 3-year-old part of you and be like, hey, you know, little Janet, or little, you know, your name, and just be like, it's okay, and just make her flowers, you know, make her energy healing flowers. Say, angels, can you check my flowers? And then give them to that inner child part of you. Because the safer you feel, the less likely you are to subconsciously cord someone who's getting angry. And then that's good, because then they can just get angry and clear their baggage and be done with it. And, you know, because anger is not really a problem. I mean, technically. Stuck anger gets really huge and dramatic, but if you uncord them, then they're more likely to just get through it faster and just use the anger to clear the energy, and then they're not angry after that. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you for your question. Someone says, hi Janet, I did the video on Friday but missed today. Working stuck with my sacrum right hip. Misaligned, pressing on bladder, feels all right up to my armpits. Is this arthritis? What to do? My goodness. I think some of that maybe is a typo, but I think you're saying that, okay, on the right hip, misaligned, pressing on bladder, feels all right up to my armpits. Is this arthritis? What to do? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just gonna look at your energy. Yeah, it could be interesting if you work your astral body in that location. So, like you have your physical body, right? And that's pretty obvious, right? But you also have your astral body, and your astral body is the form that you as a spirit use, you know, and you so like, it looks like you. It looks like arms, legs, and everything, and an aura, and that's you. So when you go to sleep at night, your spirit goes off, your astral body goes off to the astral, right? So you just imagine that part of you, your astral body, the part of you that comes in, you know, when you're fully present. Just imagine that energy body, the astral body, and just imagine that part and just melt away any hard energy there. And if there's anything that you can't clear, just say, angels, can you help me to clear right there? So that's what I would suggest is, also your aura, both auras, physical and astral body aura, right around there. So like say if I have, like right now my shoulders are good, thank God, knock on wood. But when I did have a shoulder problem, I would work a lot, my aura around my shoulder. You know, because chances are if you have a physical issue, your aura around there is kind of stuck and has a lot of stuck energy. So just imagine your aura around there and just melt away the hard stuck energy around that area. So I would say work your astral body in that area and then work your aura, both auras near that body part. Work meaning imagine the stuck energy and melt it with gold light. Suckness, thank you. You're wonderful. You're welcome. Thank you for my dolphins and my unicorns and my stars. That's very cute. So it says, hi, Janet. Can I ask a question about my sister? What energy healing can I remind her telepathically to do right now? Thank you. I'm thinking about who your sister is. I don't remember her physical, like real life name, but she does not have chakra damage. She has aura damage. So I would just, and her grounding is really tight. So just, you know, telepathically, like center yourself first and then just say, hey, you know, let's say her name is Susan, which I know it's not, but just say, hey, Susan, I just want to remind you, if you want, you can ask your angels to repair your aura because it's damaged. Remember, your aura is damaged right there. So you could, if you want, you can ask your angels to repair your aura and help you with your grounding. And then she'd be like, oh, okay, thanks, I forgot. Yeah. So yeah, I would just say the basics with her. Aura repair, grounding. Just ask her angels to remind her that her angels can help her with that. Someone says, hi Janet, how am I looking? I didn't realize I was being so unsafe. Are there any suspects I should be wary of aside from my dad for wax? Also, it seemed like I had a lot of cords on Friday. You know, yeah, your dad didn't know the wave thing. I showed him the wave actually because I was curious, like, because in your survey you said like, oh, I've been getting wax from my dad, which was true. And I was like, well, that's kind of interesting because you did because on Friday we did that conflict resolution wave thing, you know, and so why would he still whack you if there's this nice conflict resolution wave emanating from you, the ripple effect? And he didn't notice the wave, like the ripples. He was so stuck, he didn't notice the ripples. But then when I showed him the ripples, he really liked it. So I don't think he's been whacking you since like late last night. Because because I'm looking at surveys to try to study people's experiences and what's happening. And I wanted to see, did that conflict resolution ripple effect make a big difference for people? And for some people, I mean, I think it did overall. Like for me, I could tell a lot less people were like hovering over me, you know, with that wave going out. Everyone was like all happy working with their angels. So people left me alone really well. It was awesome. But yeah, some people still got whacked with that. But some other people, it really helped all their loved ones just kind of chilled out and left them alone. So it was interesting. I guess it's a case-by-case thing. Some people are just a little too stuck to notice that nice ripple effect that you send out. But if you show them the ripple effect, it's like, you know, sometimes people don't notice the flowers, the conflict resolution flowers you give them. But then you can say, oh, these are for you. You know, my angels checked them. You can have your angels check them. You know, so it just seems like, anyway. I think overall you're getting like crazy super present. You're in all your chakras right now. You're bringing up like half the earth energy you need through your legs, and the other half you're bringing up straight from the center of the earth into your first chakra, which I would say is not as gentle. So maybe just do some leg stretching, you know, like kind of be a little more aware of like opening up your knee energy flow and your feet energy flow and your ankles energy flow so that your spirit can be more fully in here and you bring all the earth energy up through here. So I would just say some leg appreciation is good. But you're getting very, very present. I think it's just that when you're that present, you really notice the issues you have. So I think you're thinking you have more issues now than you used to, but you're just aware of them. So I would say you're doing pretty well. Just work on your legs a little more. Someone says, hey, Janet, I was wondering if you could tell me why I seem to not feel well after other people do energy work on me. I'm a healer myself and usually do my own, but sometimes just want to relax. Well, the first thing that comes to mind, the angels are like, just tell her that story, tell her that story. So um, I'm going to tell you that story. A long time ago, I got a healing from somebody, and um, I guess at the time I didn't think about it. I didn't think about like what energy is she using to heal. But she used white energy to heal people. And, some people do that. A lot of people do that. Some people do it without even knowing. A lot of times, Reiki is taught without any awareness of color. And so they don't know if they're using gold or blue or white or what. And they're just like, it's just universal something. It comes through my hands. But that makes a big difference. And so this woman, she was using white energy, and she had some beings, basically invasive beings, that were helping her as a healer. And those beings were kind of like hanging out in my space. And I think she felt like, oh, they're going to keep me safe for the next week while my healing gels or something. But with me, I was like, gee, I feel really off right now. I felt so off, I didn't even want to drive the car home. I just like sat there meditating for like probably 40 minutes. But basically I was getting all the white energy out of me and then getting those beings out of me, her big helper beings. I mean, that's why I only work with angels, because angels don't play like that. Angels will not like hop in your space and sit on your lap for a week to keep you safe. You know, like they're outside of your aura at all times. So I would say, maybe you're not being picky enough as far as who does healing work on you. Um, you know, everybody does it a different way, but I would say a way, things to evaluate whether you want to get a healing from a certain person or not. Look at what vibration do they use, because if they use a white, for me, that's way too high a vibration to get really present. So if you're pretty present and then someone uses white on you, you're like, whoa, all of a sudden you're like popped out. Plus, are they present? How many chakras are they in, as a healer? Because a lot of healers, they don't wait until they get into all their chakras first. So maybe they're in like their top two, or maybe they're in their top, 7654, and then they just have a bunch of beings, in their space that are helping. And and so they're like half in, and then they're using white, and they have these big beings, and it's like you get some of that in you, and it's like, you feel like you get hit by a truck. So, I would say be pickier as far as who gives you a healing. If I had to nutshell it. But yeah, I think you could be older spiritually and way more present than the people that you're asking for healings, in which case, what's the point? Just work on yourself then. You know. You can have your angels, just say, angels, please give me healing, and then you can sit back and relax. Because if you say angels, then your personal angels are going to hear that, and, they'll give the healing. So I hope that's enough sort of food for thought to work with. If not, you can post a different question. My next Q&A will be after the Sunday Healing Masterclass on Sunday, May 17th. So right after that live stream, that healing live stream, which you're welcome to sit in on. I mean, you could actually buy a spot if you want, but I know we're telling you to be picky on healers, so you might want to size me up for a while first. But anyway, after that healing on May 17th, then there'll be a live stream then if you want to ask any other questions. Let's see. Someone says, I've been struggling with a few projects that are triggering because they really need to get done. I put them on the top of the list. As a result, I get nothing done. What is going on? Yeah, okay, so it's like if I line up these four, it looks like four things to me, so I don't know if it's just one project, but there are four parts to it or whatever. But I sort of see four things, and those things are triggering you so much. Specifically in three, two, and one, you have a bunch of baggage that gets triggered when you think of doing those projects. And so with that baggage triggered, then you're kind of like half in, half out. So I would just say do targeted energy clearing either directly in your aura layers and your chakras or just blanket exercise style out in front of you. But the idea is to clear specifically what triggers when you even think of doing those specific projects. Because there's specific ways that your grounding blocks up and your aura just locks up. So then you're not even in your third at that point. You're only in like 7 through 4. So you're very motivated, you're just not able to act. So that's a good illustration of the difference between motivation and action. Motivation is like, I really, 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 really want to do it. But then you're not taking the action, you know? So it's because you're just too triggered. You know, it's very specific triggers. Like if you don't think about that, you might even be in all chakras. But as soon as you start thinking about it, it's like, oh my God. You know, so just it's just specific blocks for some reason. I think one or two people are courting those energy blocks too, but that shouldn't be an issue. You can just melt those people out of the way, you know, melt their cords and then melt the blocks. Someone says, I grew up learning to be a people pleaser. I'm trying to shed this pattern and am good at mirroring and imitating. How can I learn to cultivate my own purpose and creativity? Keep on clearing blocks. You know, what comes to mind is there's a video I have. Sorry about that background noise. That's our plumbing making noise right now. um, I have a video about clearing facades. A facade is like an inner wall. Well, a facade is a wall, a false wall. So if you search Janet Wright clear facade, I think that's going to help. Janet Wright clear facade. Because I think that you're kind of invested in how people see you too much. And so there's like an authenticity thing where you clear these sort of false walls that you've put up. And they could be even from a past life, you know, but they're still there. If you don't clear them, they're still there. So that video, Janet Wright clear facade, I don't know that I have, if you search Janet Wright authenticity, I don't know if it'll come up, but Janet Wright clear facade would come up. I think too there's a video, Janet Wright, you'll find it if you search Janet Wright, heal wounded inner child. Janet Wright, heal wounded inner child. And there's like the image is like me, and then I have this piece of paper that says ABC on it. And it's like targeted healing for your inner child so that it just kind of eases you out of denial and imbalances that you have. So I think if you work on your inner child healing with that video and then the clearing of the facades, then I think it'll just kind of make you more you. And make you more inwardly focused and less sort of studying other people's view of you. So yeah. So I don't think it's exactly a purpose and creativity problem you have. I think it's a problem with, you know, you're wounded in a way that makes you over external. So if you heal the wounds, then you won't be so external, and then your things will work better. I do have a creativity healing masterclass coming up in June, but like I said, I don't think it's exactly a creativity problem that you have. I think it's, you know, the other stuff. So those videos I mentioned would be good. Someone says, oh, you've watched the spiritual age videos and you think 2 or 3 spiritual age. Yeah, let's see. I'm going to look for your full name because that's easier for me. would say mid-late second. For everybody, spiritual age, it just means like how many lifetimes have you had? How old are you spiritually? You know, because people have different number of lifetimes that they've had so far, and that help, you know, all these lifetimes, they help you to learn and evolve. And so sometimes, you know, if somebody like you just don't see things the same way they do, it could be that they're on a different level as far as spiritual age. So they're not able to perceive things in the same way you do because of their spiritual age. So you don't have to like beat your head against a wall and wish them to be different, because, you know, it would take like 10 lifetimes for them to catch up to you. And by then you'll be at a whole different level. So, you know, they just are going to see things differently than you do. You know, so hopefully sometimes that helps people to be a little more non-judgmental about others and understand, you know, why like a certain person might not have the same capacity for compassion that you do, for example, or might not have the same capacity for empathy that you do. But anyway, most people that can stand me are going to be like late third or second chakra being or first chakra being. Sometimes third chakra beings can handle me for like a very limited time, but usually not. So if you like what I do, you can kind of get what I'm saying and all that, your chances are you're a second chakra being or a first chakra being. Late third is like people that are really good at taking action, like excellent at taking action. Like they do things so well and they're very physical typically. But I would say you're mid-late second. So you're like between second level being, so like emotional awareness and stuff. And then you're not at the end stage of it. You're like in the middle late stage of it. So hope that helps. And I could be wrong, of course. Disclaimer. You know, this is a spot read on a Q&A, but that's what it looks like to me. Someone says, love that you do these lives. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like them. Someone says, I'm really trying to finally heal and start a new chapter. Yay, create a new life, new everything. Do you see me making any real progress, and what area do I need to focus on for more healing? I would say still keep track of your conscious thoughts, because you can still go very sour, and that's a big deal. You know, like, you know, just, you know, don't judge yourself for being judgy, but when you notice yourself judging, or when you notice yourself being like a little bitter or a little, you know, frustrated with the world, like just, you know, nurture, breathe, you know, come back to yourself, you know, get your flow, you know, just try to think, because I think that, you know, the worldview, the sunny worldview, you know, it's not that you have to fake it, but whenever you kind of get into resentments, or, you know, like, why does she do that, or why does he do this, you know, try to pull back and just keep your flow. You know, keep your flow, think of what you're grateful for, you know, maybe, you know, think of the back of all your chakras, keep them releasing nicely, you know, unblock the back of your chakras more often, but just, you know, like, because a lot of times conscious thought indicates where you're at energetically, you know, how flowing you are, how grounded you are. So when your thoughts aren't so positive and peaceful, then that's just a sign that you need to tend to yourself a little more, you know, maybe do a little more body awareness, a little stretching, a little breathing, you know, something. Back of your chakras open up, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, you're lightening up. It's just that you've been through so much that there's a lot of lightening up to do. So, but you're definitely on the right track already. Someone says, are you able to see what chakras I have cords attached to my verbally abusive father who I'm living with at the moment? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so it's like a two-part answer, because yeah, there are a lot of cords between you and him, but B, there's healing that I would recommend that you focus on, even like, yeah, melt the cords. He's courting you at the 7th, the 6th, the 5th, the 4th, 3, 2, I mean, in all chakras, he's courting you. But what I would say is repair your aura, because without your aura repaired, you don't have adequate defenses. You know, like your grounding is really thin and blocked. you know, ideally it would be like a big waterfall, like huge red or orange or yellow waterfall, like grounding you to the core of the earth. So you're like, rah, I'm strong and rooted, right? And then you'd have your aura whole, you know, with no gashes in it. And that's not true for you right now. You have like the whole back of your aura is completely ripped open, and even parts of the front. So it's really hard to keep someone from courting you if you're all ripped up. You just don't have the natural defenses that you're supposed to have. So I would say aura repair is your new best friend. Okay, so I would say Janet Wright Gold Energy Aura Buffer Zones is an 18-minute video, and that teaches aura repair. Okay, and then once you do that, you know, once or twice and you really get the concepts in it, then there's a different video. If you search on YouTube, Janet Wright Aura Repair Unblock Grounding, there's a 10-minute video. And that will, it does aura repair for those who already kind of know it. It does a quicker version of aura repair and unlock your grounding. Because I think with your grounding and your aura hold, then you can start to care how many chakras is your dad courting. Because right now, it's sort of like, if I'm putting more liquid in a cup that has holes in it, what's the point? You know, fix the holes first. So do aura repair first, do grounding first, and then, you know, when you melt the cords, they might stay melted for like a good half hour. You know, so, but feel free to keep commenting under my videos. And like I said, I have another Q&A on the 17th. So I look forward to, if you want to post another question then, and, you know, learn your aura repair before then, but under videos, if you post, it might take me a week or two to reply if you post a question under a video, but I do reply. So, yeah, learn aura repair and grounding, because yes, your dad is courting you in all chakras. But the thing is, even if you didn't live with him, he could still court all the chakras. So that's why it's not exactly a living with him problem. It's just, you know, you need strong energy in order to have strong boundaries with somebody who has invasive tendencies. Later, there's other videos that you could do too to try to mellow him out. But at this point, I would just say your boundaries are priority number one, which starts with aura repair. Okay, thank you for your question, by the way. Someone says and it is doable, I promise. You can be safer and safer just with really not that much effort with some healing videos. So it's worth the time. Someone says, hey, Janet, wondering about my Angels Feedback pre-recorded online teaching. My Angels Feedback pre-recorded online teaching. Seems like I'm working in cement to follow through with all the tech and marketing. Current doing live 3 week. Didn't understand much of that. Yeah, I don't understand any of that question. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, no, don't understand. I mean, I would just say your grounding looks fine. You do look like you have a little aura damage right up here. So you could repair your aura up top. But you are in a bunch of chakras even with the aura damage. You're in 7 through 2. So that's pretty rocking. Just fix your aura up top. But yeah, I do not understand your question. Sorry. Someone says, and I'm going to have to wrap up soon-ish because I said I would do an hour. Yeah, someone is spamming with a silly comment that I'm going to delete. There we go. I love doing that. Okay, somebody said, Du said earlier, their beings might choose you over them. Can this happen on a dating site or from casual hookups or only from close karmic long-term family relationships? Yeah, it can happen. Yeah, it could happen from a casual hookup. I mean, casual hookup, it sounds like you mean sex, which certainly could happen. I mean, it could happen if you have a like a 2-minute conversation in a store with somebody, you know, or like if you have a virtual, like if you talk to someone on Skype, could their beings choose you over them? That's less likely. I don't think so. If it's just a Skype thing. I mean, if you regularly are very, you know, friendly with a Skype person, no. I don't think beings notice that much of like a just a virtual communication type thing. But if you're next to somebody physically, their beings might choose you over them, or but you know, as usual, the way to just if you're present, you know, you could use vacuum boxes. You know, vacuum boxes are fun. They're just little gold and clear boxes that you make with your intention, and they're just energy boxes, and you just make them all around you and just turn them on, and they suck up any beings that you're ready to release into the boxes, and then you ask your angels to recycle the boxes after about a half a minute. So, you know. Yes, but if you have sex with someone, yeah, their beings could definitely choose you over them. Or if you're even, like I said, a 2-minute conversation on a physical plane, if you're next to somebody in a store, then their beings are going to definitely be noticing you. But you know, not to make anyone paranoid. It's just, you know, you are a mighty, powerful, eternal being. You're the strong one. Someone says, I want to see my own energy to heal myself and others, but I'm also scared of seeing beings, especially ghosts. So I don't want my 6th chakra open all the way. I feel a bit stuck there. Any advice? Oh my goodness, what if I see a ghost? Okay, what is a ghost? A ghost is like me or you, somebody who's just as cute and adorable as we are, but their body passed away and they didn't manage to see their angels, so they haven't crossed over yet. So ghosts are not bad. They're just people like us that got lost. So those would be the nicest things you could see, actually. If you've ever helped a ghost cross over, that's like a really cool thing, because you show them their angels, and then these really cool looking big angels come down, like these special big angels come down, and then they help the person like go up and cross over, you know, and go up to heaven, and it's like they're going up an escalator. It looks really cool. So I don't know. We must be very different, but I would be hoping that I could see a ghost. I mean, of course I can. But yeah, ghosts are cool. They're, like I said, they're just you and me. They just don't know they're dead. It's just like, because when you cross over, crossing over is easy for most people. It's pretty rare that someone becomes a ghost, because it's just that they just were too blocked to see their angels, even on a spirit level, which it's so easy on a spirit level. And I mean, particularly when you're dying, it's like there are all these big special angels helping. It's like any dope can cross over. It's the easiest thing ever. But yeah, okay, in rare occasions, someone will be too blocked and they're not a dope, you know, but they're too blocked and they don't see the angels, so then they don't cross over, and so they just walk around lost, you know, but they're nice people. They just don't understand. I think when some people get confused is because, okay, say you move into an apartment where a person like that used to live. Well, they still think they're alive, so they think it's their apartment. So they're thinking you're the intruder. So, you know, look at it from their perspective. They're not trying to be mean. They just are like, okay, what are you doing in my place, crazy girl? You know. So, you know, but you help them cross over, and then everybody's happy. So, you know, I don't know. I don't see that as a bad thing. Yeah, so it's up to you, but I think seeing ghosts is totally cool. It's fun because then you help them cross over, and that's crazy good karma. But yeah, you might have to just think about that for a while, I guess. I mean, personally, I would recommend that you see beings just period, because otherwise they're bugging you and making you, you know, blow up at your husband for no good reason, and making you, you know, hate your body or something. And, you know, I don't see that as a positive. So, you know, seeing beings is good for that reason. I would say there's a video, if you want like the most sort of stabilizing baby step way to practicing beings, I have a video called Janet Wright Grounding Clean Out Beings is in the title. Janet Wright Grounding Clean Out Beings is in the title. I think I used to have advanced grounding clean out in that, but I don't know if I still call it advanced because I didn't want to scare people off. Because sometimes like people are just humble and they're totally ready for it, but they think they're not because it says advanced. So anyway, but if you search Janet Wright grounding clean out beings, then it's a video and I just walk you through looking for beings and you're grounding and cleaning them out. And since you're cleaning them out of your grounding, each time you clean one out, it's like so nice. Your grounding works better and all of a sudden you feel safer and happier. And so it's like, it's a really good introduction, I think. Plus you just use your imagination. You don't really have to see even. 'Cause seeing and imagining, they're just like little twins, so I would just say keep working imagining, but do it for practical reasons, not like, if there's a practical reason, like, yeah, I want to see if there's a being contributing to my low self-esteem. Yeah, that I think would motivate you and give you the reasoning behind it, and then it's practical. Someone says, thank you, Jenna. I appreciate you. Okay. I'm going to go. Do my angels have a message for me? Someone else says, do my angels have a message for me? Yeah, they're telling me I need to wrap up is what they're telling me. Yeah, they're just showing me that, like, okay, when you're stuck on a certain thing, like, try to nurture your way out of it. Don't, like, get frustrated and kind of judge your way out of it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work. Like, if you have some stuck energy and you can't see it, so you're still stuck, just nurture yourself. Just try to, they're talking about validate your progress, validate how far you've come. Just not just that you can't clear the energy, but maybe you're doing it in like this frustrated way. You're like banging your head against a wall rather than just nurturing yourself, backing away from the wall so then you see the wall and you can melt the wall. So like more non-resistance, more forgiveness, more nurturing. So then you can just melt your blocks. Someone says, thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, so I'm going to read one or two more questions from, if I can find one from someone I haven't read yet in this Q&A. So, because we're way over, so that's why I'm skipping around. Someone says, thank you forever. Do you recommend me having a healing with you to really jumpstart a big clearing and kick this off? These issues feel like they've gotten more prominent lately. Thank you. I mean, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, the thing is, group healings are easier to get. You get them sooner, and they're very effective. A lot of people, they just think, I mean, because in modern society, people that are going by modern pricing psychology, they'll price their best things higher and their not so good things lower, right? But I'm not doing that. I want to get a lot of good karma from what I do in this life, right? So my group healings are actually a really big deal. They're very good. They're using the same level of technique that the private healings, individual healings do, but they're priced so low. But a lot of people think, well, yeah, I shouldn't start with that because it's the lowest thing. So it's, a trash healing or something. It's beneath me. I need only the best. I'm going to wait for that individual one. It's not like that with me. Like, I'm probably most proud of my group healings. But the individual ones are individual, so therefore they have value in that way. But so I would just say, yeah, of course, jump into some group healings, get them soon and get going. Yeah, sure, why not? You're welcome to. I'm biased, of course. I think my healings really help. But yeah, so I would say just, yeah, don't try to hold out for an individual session because they're so hard to get and you have to wait. Even if you got one the next time they're up, which is May 15th, the July ones go up. But I mean, it's like, they sell out in like 2 minutes. So you could try for one, but even if you do get one, then in between then you could get a whole bunch of group healings for a pretty reasonable rate in between then, and you know, get more fuel for your growth. So you may not even need an individual one if you do group ones. Plenty of people don't do the individual ones; they just do group ones for that extra, you know, strengthening motivation stuff. So then they get more motivated with their self-healing. Someone says, okay, so this is a person I haven't read a lot from in this time, so I will. So someone says, okay, that makes sense, thanks. The one recent healer used blue. Yeah, but they weren't in a lot of chakras, and I think they did have some big beings that were not angels that were working with them. People aren't that choosy, you know. They think like, oh, these beings are guides of mine, but they're invasive guides that stay in the client space, you know, and that's a real thing, you know. But it's like these people, if they're not fully present, they don't feel that these guides that stand in their aura all the time are burdensome. So then they feel like, oh, well, I'm just helping you by having my guides also stand in your space for a week until you heal up, you know. And they think they're helping by doing that. So I would just say, you know, really check out the process. And you can do that from just being within your own space and intuitively, okay, what color did they use? You know, and then do they have invasive guides and beings that are present as they're doing the healing work that therefore can migrate into the client space? And, you know, and are there cords? Is there any cording between them and the client as they're healing them and then after? Because a lot of them have like this sort of mama bird kind of idea where they're just going to cover you with their energy for protection's sake for a few days after the healing. Which, if you're already pretty present and sensitive, it feels like you're like sick or something. You know? Anyway, someone says, I did feel like my energy was different and didn't match. I will ask my angels to be safe from now on. Yeah, ask your angels. But I would say, look, you know, use your ability to assess somebody and see where they're at. Because good intention is fine, but then there's a lot of specifics to a healer and what they're doing. Someone says, wow, lots to take in. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Very welcome. Love your glasses, by the way. Thank you. Yes, I'm committed to fixing this. Oh, good to hear. Good to hear. Good for you. Thanks for all my little hearts. I think you're right about the authenticity clear facades work. I think I've kept myself safe by appearing how other people expect me to be in a lot of ways. Work to do. Yeah. Yeah. And anyone could use that video. By the way, the clear facades, Janet Wright clear facades, it's really fascinating. Like a facade, it could be, even if you think, oh, I'm a really authentic person, I've been working on it for years, I bet you anything there's still some facades that you could find in your aura, and if you clear them, it's just like, oh, that feels so much better. So anyway, someone says, thank you for your answer. That made me LOL. We'll do the inner smile, and we'll try to help her out with her healing more. Yeah. Okay, great. Someone says, thanks. All right, so thank you guys so much. I went over this time a little more than I would like. Hopefully next time I will not. We'll see. So thank you for participating. You guys are wonderful. And there will be a group healing, obviously, that I'm doing in 2 days on Tuesday. That starts at 10 a.m. Pacific, noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern, in US and Canada. And if you need me to calculate times for your country, you can just email me and I will do that. Or post under the video your country and I will do that for you. But anyway, that healing on Tuesday in 2 days is sold out already. I'm healing 100 people, group healing. But you can, if you're not one of those people, you could still watch and heal yourself as you watch, because I talk out loud as I'm doing it. I say what I'm doing as I do it. So it's like a walkthrough too. And if you want to check out upcoming healings, upcoming group healings, there are some very epic ones coming up. Epic in a good way. May 17th, there are like maybe 18 spots left, maybe. Self-healing, self-love, and self-care heart chakra is the theme of the Healing Masterclass coming up. Healing Masterclass means it's a group healing that I'm doing, but also Archangels Ariel and Jophiel will be giving some messages too about the theme, and I'll be saying them out loud. So it's like, it's maybe a little extra teaching conceptual in addition to the nitty gritty energy healing. And you don't have to have worked with me before to pay for healing. I mean, I love working with new people. It's fine. Then Friday, June 5th, Sunday, June 7th, and Tuesday, June 9th is another triplet set. Set of 3 healings on Strong, Thriving Survivor, Clearing Trauma and Abuse Baggage, Conscious and Subconscious from This and Past Lives. So that can help anybody, because anybody has had trauma and abuse in past lives, and many of us in this life have had traumatic situations, either ongoing or in our past. And so this triplet set of healings in early June is about overcoming that dynamic of, sort of transcending the victimization of it, and restoring your strength and your power, and moving forward. So I'm very excited that we have 3 healings to focus on. That's so great. And then Sunday, June 21st is Creativity and Self-Expression, a healing masterclass on creativity and self-expression. Yay! So anyway, that's all on my website, janetwrightreadings.com. And and I guess then, yeah, the themes for the July healings go up on May 15th. And the individual sessions sell out in like 2 minutes. The time of when they go up is on my website. And if you ever want to get like, give this a thumbs up if you would, if you want. But if you, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm probably babbling. Okay, guys, I need to go. Thank you so much for participating. You're really awesome. And I think it's great that not only do you care about your energy, but you're inquisitive and you want to learn and you're healing yourselves. Woohoo! Go, go, go. Bye.